Picture this. New York City, glittering gala, cameras flashing everywhere. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are center stage, accepting a Humanitarians of the Year award. Who look like, well, global power players.
It really felt like the peak moment for what you might call brand Sussex 2.0, their public victory lap.
But, and this is the twist that defines late 2025, while they're soaking up the applause in Manhattan.
Right, while they're claiming that humanitarian high ground back in London, behind closed doors, something very different is happening.
A tense, secret negotiation, a sort of battle for reconciliation, playing out through leaks and nervous palisades.
Exactly. Two completely parallel storylines.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're Jordan.
And Jamie. And today we're going past those headlines. We want to uncover the real strategy here, the Sussex Strategy.
We've dug into the reports, their big philanthropic push, this supposed peace deal, and crucially, where the rest of the royal family actually stands. Because, spoiler, they're not all on the same page.
Not even close. Our mission today is to figure out how these two threads, the public wins and the private diplomacy, actually came together. What power did they really gain? And how shaky is this peace they're talking about? It's way more complicated than it looks.
Okay, let's start with the public stage. The award. We're calling this the Humanitarian Shield.
Yeah.
That Project Healthy Minds Award on October 9th. That felt like huge validation for them going independent.
It absolutely was, and the focus was smart, very targeted. It was for their Archwell Foundation's Parents Network.
Right, the initiative focusing on youth, mental health, online safety, bullying.
Things almost everyone can get behind. They essentially wrapped their cause in this universally sympathetic issue.
And their speeches were interesting. Different, but both pretty powerful. Meghan took a very personal approach.
Yeah, she talked about her own anxieties as a parent, worrying about Archie and Lilibet online. Made it super relatable, like she's grappling with the same things every modern parent is.
But Harry,
Yeah.
he went harder, much more political.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't just talking wellness, he was naming names almost. He brought up the 4,000 families represented by the Social Media Victims Law Center.
The ones whose kids were harmed or even lost because of social media platforms?
Exactly. And he directly accused powerful corporations, lobbyists, of spending millions to suppress the truth. That frames them not just as, famous people writing checks, but as active reformers taking on big tech.
But the reaction was instant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And totally polarized.
Completely.
Yeah.
Supporters were like, yes, culture makers, destigmatizing mental health, which, fair enough, is important.
But the critics jumped right in, crying hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can kind of see why.
Well, here's the really sticky part. The award citation itself actually listed Harry's memoir, Spare, as one of his achievements.
The book that blew the family rift wide open.
The very one. So how do you celebrate that book as part of a humanitarian accomplishment? It created this immediate dissonance that kind of undercut their whole message.
And the timing was just rough. There was that other scandal brewing.
Oh, the African parks situation. Yeah, just days before the gala, Chad terminates this 15-year agreement with African Parks where Harry's a board member.
Over serious allegations to financial issues, human rights abuses.
Right. So you have this humanitarian high point happening right next to this really serious corporate question mark. The optics weren't great.
And the palace, they didn't just sit back.
Oh, no. Classic institutional countermove. On the exact same day as the New York Gala.
King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Princess Kate, all of them suddenly had official engagements.
The very rare, perfectly synchronized show of force designed pretty obviously to dilute the media spotlight on Harry and Meghan.
But here's where it gets really surgical, strategically speaking. Just hours before the Sussex's speech.
Kate Middleton publishes this passionate personal essay.
On the exact same theme, the dangers of digital tech, the epidemic of disconnection.
That wasn't a coincidence. That was like quiet institutional warfare. A clear message. This cause isn't just yours. We care about this too. We were probably here first. Using their platform to reclaim the narrative space.
Wow. It sounds absolutely exhausting. Every move countered by another move.
It's negotiation by media, and it perfectly sets the stage for the other game being played back in London.
If you're finding these royal chess moves fascinating, make sure you're subscribed. We've got way more twists coming up in this deep dive. Okay, so while that public drama was unfolding, the really high-stakes game was happening privately in London. Tell us about this secret summit and the so-called Trojan horse offer.
Right, so the whole reconciliation narrative really kicked off, or at least the leaks about it did, after a private meeting back in July 2025.
Not the royals themselves, though.
No, it was their staff. King Charles's top comms person, Tobin Andre, met with Harry's key people, Meredith Maines and Liam Maguire, at some discreet London members' club.
And immediately the spin started. Sources couldn't agree on what it meant.
Exactly. Some nameless insiders called it a crucial first step. Others, probably closer to the palace, downplayed it as just a routine professional exchange.
That ambiguity itself is revealing, isn't it? Both sides trying to manage perceptions from the get-go.
Definitely. But the most concrete thing that apparently came out of this, or was offered, was from Harry's side.
Schedule sharing.
Yeah. Harry proposed sharing his official schedule of engagements with the royal family.
Okay, wait. On the surface, that sounds reasonable. Just avoiding clashes, right?
Yeah.
Like when his Angola trip completely overshadowed Queen Camilla's birthday coverage.
That's the public justification, the stated goal. Prevent friction, avoid awkward headlines. But if you dig a bit deeper...
There's more to it.
This is a really clever strategic play. Think about it. The royal family's calendar isn't just about dates. It's a tool of statecraft. It signals importance.
So if the palace formally accepts Harry's schedule,
It grants his independent work, his commercial ventures, his foundation, a kind of quasi-official recognition. It subtly legitimizes Brand Sussex within the royal orbit, even if they aren't working royals.
okay, so it directly challenges King Charles's hard line. No half in, half out.
Yeah.
It's like a backdoor way to get institutional linkage without the duties and constraints.
That's precisely the Trojan horse element. It offers the appearance of cooperation and deference, while potentially gaining a significant strategic advantage, the implicit nod from the institution, without being bound by its rules.
But the whole thing is built on shaky ground, right? This massive trust deficit. It's all anonymous leaks.
Totally. And Harry's own office officially declined to comment on the diary sharing offer. That tells you how sensitive this is. They're being very careful.
And the leaks themselves just poured fuel on the fire.
Of course. Sources close to William and Kate reportedly pointed to the leaks about the secret summit as proof Harry's team couldn't be trusted, that they were acting in bad faith.
So who was leaking? Harry's side, trying to pressure the royals by making him look like the reasonable one pushing for peace.
Or was it Palisades leaking to downplay the meeting, to manage expectations and reinforce the king's stance? We just don't know. But the leaking itself damaged the process.
It sounds like a mess. We know Harry seems eager, but we've got more coming up on the potential financial reasons for that urgency and, well, the brick wall that is Prince William. Stay tuned. So, let's be blunt. Is a full peace, a real reconciliation, even possible here? It seems like the main players just want completely different things.
I think definitively impossible might be strong, but it's incredibly unlikely. You've basically got 4 conflicting positions holding everything in stalemate.
Okay, break it down for us. Who wants what?
Position 1, King Charles. You could call him the pragmatic institutionalist, personally. He seems open to reconciliation. His cancer diagnosis, that private 54-minute chat with Harry that suggests a father wanting connection.
But as king?
As king, he's rigid. Institutionally, the door is slammed shut on Harry and Meghan resuming any official duties. For Charles, it's a whole-or-nothing proposition. You're either in, serving the monarchy, or you're out. Forgiving father, yes. Flexible monarch, no.
Okay. Position 2. Prince Harry.
He's the eager reconciler. He seems to be the main one pushing for peace, and it feels deeply personal. Remember him saying, I don't know how much longer my father has.
Yeah, that adds this layer of urgency, a ticking clock. Makes his move seem more sympathetic, maybe.
It definitely frames his perspective. Position 3, Meghan. Let's call her the cautious preconditioner.
Wary is the word sources use.
Very wary. Reportedly, she won't really engage unless, and this is key, their security and privacy concerns are completely resolved.
So she's tying family peace directly to Harry's ongoing legal fight for taxpayer-funded police protection in the UK.
Seems like it. And apparently she rejects the idea of formal documents to restore trust. She wants action, not paperwork, especially around security.
Which brings us to the 4th and maybe the most difficult position. Prince William.
The unbreachable wall. That's really how it looks. Sources say the rift between the brothers is worse than ever.
Still fallout from Spare.
Profound betrayal and fury over Spare, apparently. It's significant that he and Kate were reportedly kept completely in the dark about those recent talks between the aides.
Wow. And they haven't really spoken since, what, September 2022? Aside from maybe brief public encounters?
That's the report. That fraternal rift, that's the biggest, most lasting obstacle. No amount of diary coordination fixes that level of personal damage.
And this push for peace, this timing, It's not just about feelings, is it? There's a business angle. A big one.
Oh, absolutely. You can't ignore the financial realities here. They're facing a potential cliff.
They lost the Spotify deal already.
Right. But the big one, the real pressure point, is Netflix. That massive $100 million 5-year contract, it's reportedly set to expire in September 2025.
And the word is, it's not being renewed.
That changes everything. That creates a huge economic imperative to figure out what's next.
So all this focus on humanitarian work, the talk of reconciliation, it's a strategic market correction. They need a new brand identity, like yesterday.
That's exactly how it looks. They're actively pivoting, moving away from the conflict narrative, the whistleblowers brand that defined their exit.
Towards something more stable. Healers, humanitarians.
Precisely. Stability, positive impact. That's a much more bankable, enduring identity for attracting future commercial partnerships than constantly being embroiled in royal drama. They need to shift the perception from family rebels to principled global figures. It's about future viability.
If you want to keep up with all these twists in Hollywood, music, and pop culture, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive.
So let's try and synthesize all this. What's the likely outcome? A full family reunion back in the royal fold.
Seems impossible. Not with King Charles holding that for whole or nothing line. The institution itself just isn't going to bend that way.
Right. So peace isn't really the right word. What we're probably looking at is a perpetually fragile coexistence.
Like a cold peace.
Maybe. The best case scenario feels like some kind of informal détente. Maybe they manage to coordinate schedules better. Just enough to avoid those really damaging headline clashes.
But that underlying rift, especially between William and Harry, that remains the elephant in the room, the biggest block.
It's the core issue, and it defines this whole Sussex paradigm they're trying to navigate.
Operating independently, using the royal status for commercial leverage, but without the safety net, the institutional protection, it really is a high-wire act.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Can they actually maintain that balance long-term, especially as the big initial deals like Netflix potentially run out?
They need the royal connection for influence, for opportunities.
But leaning into it, too much risks reigniting the very conflicts they try to escape. How do you leverage the crown without provoking the crown? That's the tightrope they have to walk in this new era.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.